Hello everyone! Do you still remember me? I don't blame you if you don't remember me, but let me reintroduce myself. I am Geline Fusina and I am the creator behind this channel. Obviously, it's under my name. Yes, by the title of this video, you know that I am, or we are, we are pregnant! I am currently 18 weeks and 4 days pregnant, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check my app. I have an app where it tracks like how far along. No, it's actually 18 weeks. I see that 18 weeks and 5 days pregnant. I want to preface this video by saying that I know this type of video is not something that I usually do in this channel, so if that's not your cup of tea, I understand. You're welcome to click off. But if you're interested to know like how we found out I was pregnant and probably some symptoms that I can remember for the first 17-18 weeks of my pregnancy, then thank you. I guess I'm going to start with how we found out that we are pregnant. So when I say we, I mean me and Chris. So I actually wrote something about it the day that I found out, the day that I got positive pregnancy test, the at-home positive pregnancy test. I wrote something in this notebook, and I was reading it again before I recorded this video, and I thought that it's kind of fun to like share it to you, what I wrote, because it was very raw, like how I felt during the day, how I felt when I found out, when I saw those 2 lines on the pregnancy test. It's all in here. So it's not that long, so I'm just gonna read it to you. Okay, so the date here is October 1st, 2019. So that was the day that we found out we were pregnant. So I wrote in here, found out that we're pregnant again today. So, okay, this is something that I haven't shared also in this channel, and I guess everywhere or anywhere, not even in my vlogging channel, but Chris and I got pregnant also earlier of last year, 2019. So we found out I was pregnant on the 2nd day of January 2019, but it didn't progress, so we had a miscarriage. So that means the baby, or our baby inside, the fetus inside, stopped growing at about 6 weeks, and we only found out during our 9th week, which is my first doctor's appointment. And then when they did the ultrasound, the transvaginal ultrasound, that's when they found that there was no fetal pole, I think that's what I call it. And there was only a sac, meaning that there was a conception that happened. I was pregnant, but for some reason it didn't develop. And the size of the sac is like 6 weeks. So the doctor told us that the baby stopped growing at the 6-week mark. So we had to like terminate, the pregnancy has to be terminated because it wasn't viable. I think it was 27th of March 2019. I can really remember that. It was a very painful experience, not just physically but emotionally painful as well. So anyway, so that's what it was. That's what I meant by pregnant again. And then I put #rainbow baby. It was crazy because my morning talk with Chris, I told him that I think I'm pregnant because my period seems weird. It came on September 29th, very little, and it wasn't getting heavier. October 1st, which is the 3rd day, it was almost gone. That only happened to me when I was pregnant with Sehi. So this afternoon, I decided to take a pregnancy test since I have them here in the house anyways. Also, at this point, there's no more blood in my pads. Again, weird. Sorry, TMI, but if you're watching any pregnancy video, that's just a part of the video, actually, just too much information. So yeah. Surely enough, and then I did a drawing of the 2 lines of the pregnancy test, and showed it to Chris and asked him how many lines he's seeing, and he said 2. And then I said, then I'm pregnant. So, which he replied back, let's not get too excited for now. I understand his reply and I respect it. He must be traumatized with our last pregnancy that had to be terminated. But I'm happy. I never would have guessed that I'm pregnant. I thought I was just gaining weight because I lack exercise. I also noticed that my skin's getting pretty dry, and I attributed it to the dry land in Las Vegas because we had a trip. We had a trip to Las Vegas about like 2 weeks before I found out, if I remember it right. I also had a small episode of nose bleeding, which I never had in like a decade. So yeah, for like 10 years, more than 10 years, I've never had any nose bleeding. And then just randomly, like a few days before I wrote this, I had a nosebleed. So plus I've been having this wet nose, kind of like congested, stuffy nose, and been sneezing more than my normal. So these had been little hints that our little rainbow baby's been sending to make his or her presence known. My mom has also been having dreams of her holding a baby, and she swears by every time she dreams of that, somebody in our family ends up having a baby. She had that dream when I was pregnant with Sehi, and so I also had a dream. Me personally, I had a dream. Where was I? Last week, that I was holding a baby, and it was a healthy baby boy. This is fun to document. How I wish I have Sehi's documentation with me right now when I was pregnant with her. So that's basically what I wrote. So I never really have guessed. Like before I had that that period, that weird period, I never really would have guessed that I was pregnant, because if you've been pregnant before, you know that the symptoms of pregnancy and premenstrual, so that means when you're about to have your period, are kind of the same. So to me, I never really thought that the symptoms that I was feeling was actually because I was pregnant. I thought I was just gonna have my period. I'm going to compare, or I will try to compare the pregnancy, my first pregnancy with Sehi, the second pregnancy, which ended into a miscarriage early of 2019, and this pregnancy. With my pregnancy with Sehi, it was very, very easy. Well, not really very, very easy. Well, maybe it is, because the only symptom, the giveaway symptom really, that I was pregnant was the period, the weird period again, and then I had a nose of a dog. Like I could smell food from a million miles away. It was very weird. And then the first 3 months of my pregnancy with Sehi, I was very, very, very tired and exhausted. I just wanted to sleep all day. And that was actually how do you call it? The dead giveaway. That was a hint that like my mom was like, she's pregnant. I never told her right away because I was scared. Obviously, I got pregnant out of wedlock. I wasn't married, so I was scared to let her know that I was pregnant. And then she was taking hints from, of course, she was pregnant before, so she kind of know what it is. And the second pregnancy, which ended in miscarriage, I was one day sitting in my office, which is in the other room, and I just felt that I was feeling so hot. Although, you know, we have air conditioning in the house and stuff like that, but I was feeling so hot, and the weirdest thing was that I just got out of the shower when I felt that, and I was like, this is weird. The last time I experienced this was when I was pregnant with Say. I remember I was always feeling hot. I thought to myself, that is kind of weird. Let me just take my pregnancy test. There was something that was telling me I should take a pregnancy test, which I did. Because, okay, when you're married, guys, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like when you're married and you are obviously sexually active, and it's just nice to have a pregnancy test in the house, because sometimes you just want to check, you know what I'm saying? So I have pregnancy tests in here in our house, and so I was like, I'll just check it, you know, there's nothing wrong. So I checked it, and yeah, there it was. There was 2 lines. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'm pregnant, I can't believe it. And then from the day that I found out until before the pregnancy was terminated, I was having spotting. And at first it freaked me out, but then I was watching a lot of YouTube videos, and there are women or pregnant women that are like saying they have been spotting since the very beginning of their pregnancy, but then the pregnancy went through full term, nothing happened to the baby, baby's well. And so I was thinking, oh, maybe this is just the case. So I never really, so I tried to calm myself down after seeing a lot of like videos, and also like Googling them and having those testimonials from other moms that it's like normal-ish to have spottings during pregnancy. And it was very, very traumatic experience, not just for me but for Chris as well. I could tell that he was having a hard time. Like, he wanted to comfort me, but he didn't know how exactly. But he was so sweet though, because the day that we had the pregnancy terminated, he was just, you know, he was just with me all the time, was making sure that, you know, if there's something that I needed from him or whatever, or he offers his help basically. And then one time he came home, he had to go out very quickly to grab something, and then when he went home, he knows that I love my iced latte, so he had an iced latte, I can't speak right now, with a bouquet of flowers. So that was very sweet. This pregnancy, I wouldn't say was very easy. No, it wasn't easy. It was so different from Seihi's pregnancy, my pregnancy with Seihi, and the second pregnancy. Let me try to remember some of the things, if not all. So the first 3 months of this pregnancy, I was just feeling so tired all the time, and I was feeling so unmotivated to do anything. Cravings. So my cravings for this pregnancy, it started with salty food and spicy food. I was like, all I wanted was salty food and spicy food. But with my pregnancy with Seihi, it was all sweet stuff. And I was actually craving with Seihi's, when I was pregnant with Seihi, I was craving Mountain Dew. So I know it was bad, but I was having Mountain Dew every single day for the first 3 months. And then when I was 8 months pregnant with her, I started to crave coffee. I've never had coffee in my life before that point. So it was basically her pregnancy that triggered or started my love for coffee. That's about it. I am going to show you my belly shot at 18 weeks and 5 days. So this is my 18 weeks and 5 days pregnant belly. So from the front and side, and other side. C-section scar. If you made it through this part of the video, thank you so much. And if maybe you're also pregnant and you're just trying to see what other pregnant women are going through, I would love to know what were your symptoms, how you found out you were pregnant, and yeah, I guess that's it. Leave your symptoms, pregnancy symptoms, in the comments section below. I would love to read them. And once again, I will be making weekly updates on this pregnancy from now on. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you next time.